Welcome to my review of one of the best all-around trail quads you can buy, the second generation Suzuki Z400, also known as the LTZ400, also known as the Quadsport. The first generation was made from 2003 to 2008, and I have a review of the first gen I owned before this one if you want to check that out. Suzuki brought the second generation out in 2009 and manufactured them through 2014, which is the year of this ATV. It's a shame they are no longer made, as they are incredibly well-rounded and underrated ATVs that are very capable and an absolute blast to ride. I personally decided to upgrade, one because my 07 had a rough life with previous owners to the point that I was starting to give up on the resuscitation efforts and getting to know the mechanic a little too well, and second, after cleaning multiple carburetors on different ATVs, I wanted to give fuel injection a shot. The second generation incorporates more design cues from the LTR400 race quad. This gives it a more aggressive appearance, but even with race quad style plastics, the fenders still provide good coverage. Much better than something like a Yamaha YZ400 I've owned, which basically has fenders for appearance purposes only. You get to wear anything that comes up off the trail. Goggles highly recommended. This 400cc motor is very responsive with no real weaknesses in the torque curve. The smoothness means you don't have the top end hit of the first generation, and with it being a few pounds heavier, at first it might feel not quite as responsive, but after riding it more you realize it's just that it's a smoother and more refined engine. It's also a very good quad for riding in different elevations and with cold or hot climates. The fuel injection makes jetting a non-issue, and it never failed to fire up, whether it was in a 25-degree day for a ride in the snow or after an hour of hard riding during a hot day in the middle of July. My first gen Z400 was not a fan of low-speed riding and took a lot of clutch work. This generation had none of that issue with the fuel injection, and I was amazed at how easy it was to ride over challenging terrain. Most of this video was filmed on Trail 1 of Brown Mountain, and it's a very technical ride. Even with the clutch, I had no issues going the same place as my buddy was going on his four-wheel drive Wolverine. While it's much easier to ride at slow speeds, it still revs out great with plenty of power to get moving when you want, and a very responsive throttle. It has a top speed of 70 miles an hour, which is more than you'll ever need on a trail or MX track. Their ergonomics are perfect, and the seat is Goldilocks style, not too firm and not too soft. I was able to ride for hours without getting sore shoulders or a sore saddle. Having reverse also adds to the ease of use and is very handy on a sport quad, or any quad for that matter. It makes it much easier to turn around on the trail versus having to get off and push, and also when loading or putting the quad up when at home. It's the little things. The Z400 is very well balanced with a perfect width and wheelbase. It never feels tippy, it's super easy to drift, and it never wants to wheelie under hard acceleration. It also has very good ground clearance. It has excellent suspension with three-way adjustable piggybacks on the front and back. I never took it on a full motocross track but had no bottoming out issues hitting smaller jumps out on the trail. The front width and light steering also make it very manageable and stable whether you are drifting around high-speed turns on a fire road, railing jumps, or crawling over rocky trails. The transmission also works great with an easy clutch and nice smooth snick as you change gears. These quads are modifiable with fuel controllers, open air boxes, and different exhausts, but I feel like the Z400 is more than fast enough for East Coast trail riding, and I'm not a big modder if I get an ATV that rides like I like it. It was hard to find places to get much over third gear. My only criticism is they come in white. I will never understand why any off-road oriented machine would be sold in a white color. Why then did I buy white, you ask? Because Craigslist. This was the best deal I found at the time, but it tended to look pretty dingy even after washing with a pressure washer, so I had to break out the Mr. Clean sponge, which does wonders with stubborn dirt and boot marks. I know it's made to get dirty, but I like to take care of my stuff, and a clean machine is a happy machine. Overall, these are great quads that do a lot of things beautifully. It's fast, has plenty of suspension travel, it's easy to shift, comfortable to ride for long periods of time, has fuel injection, good ground clearance, and reverse. What else do you need? Check out my other videos for more reviews and suggestions of where to ride. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks for watching, and happy riding.